Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today we're going to extend our garden. We have been in this farm almost a year now, and you can see that we started this garden behind me last year, and so we gained quite some experience actually from this garden. We tried different things. We dug the swale, and it went through the whole year of cycle. So it started in the fall, and they went through winter and the spring, summer, the brutal summer, and then now it's fall. So it has gone through the whole year, and we learned a lot of things from it. What I learned is that the soil here, even though it's very heavy clay, is actually walkable. One of the things I haven't done in that garden is put trees in there. From what I see, that after 1 year, probably the tree will establish well over there. What we're going to do is basically mow the lawn and use the tiller to till the soil, because the soil here is really compact. And then we will plant like fava beans and Dayton radish. So basically for lots of people, these are cover crops for conditioned soil, but we also eat the fava bean, we cook the fava beans, and we also eat the Dayton radish and the leaves as well. Hopefully that will make it easier for the trees to establish and survive that brutal summer over here. And this is a long process, so probably will take a few years until we get the trees to producing fruit. Anytime is good time, and now is the best time to think long-term for trees.
The first thing is to mow the grass. We've got our BCS here with the sickle bar mower, and mow the prairie grass, and then switch to the rotary tiller and start tilling. It's a little bit of a slope down in this direction, so I'm thinking actually to putting some more swales in there to slow down the water and to keep the water more on the land. I staked out contour lines. I used my A-frame to measure level lines on the field. Staked them out with a flag. I've got 3 rows of contours, and we're gonna mow along the contour. So the goal with the contours is to put swales there, put swales and berms to keep the water from running off too fast. We're gonna rake the hay up and put it on a pile, then till it with our rotary tiller on the 2-wheel tractor. Three plots done. using the BCS with the rotary plow. That worked out all right. The soil here is pretty heavy, so I'm not getting as steep as I think I should be going. Got some swales, so I went with the rotary plow on one side through the soil on the top, then on the other side through the soil on the top. We've got a bunch of swales here. I will deepen the swales and enhance the berms manually with a shovel and a pickaxe. And we staked out the swales, staked out the contour lines, rototilled up to the contour line, which actually turns out to be a bit of a pain because it's a lot easier to till straight up and down in a line as opposed to going around curves. We're not farm-to-market farmers where we need to maximize the efficiency. If we would certainly have fields that are straight and whatever the standard size is with walkways in between. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I want to finish as much as I can today. So the idea is that the water that runs off comes down here and collects in this trench and seeps into the soil eventually. So we slow down the flow of the water, keep the water on the property longer. Tools of the trade, very straightforward. It's a shovel and a pickaxe, and that's all I need. You probably can see the soil here. This is the heavy Houston black clay. Black clay, the black color comes from organic deposits that's been decomposing from the prairie grasses over the last hundreds of thousands of years. So it's a very fertile soil. It is heavy clay, so it is really hard to work. It's heavy. It is when it's wet, it keeps the water very well. When it dries out, it is like concrete.
Eventually, we'll put an orchard over here, but the soil here is so heavily clay that I know that the tree will have a tough time to establish over here. Like we can see that the previous owner planted some pecan tree on the other side, and they are really struggling. So the idea is to put cover crops here to condition the soil for a year, and then to put trees there. For now, what I'm going to plant is these moon beans that I actually planted this moon bean in the other garden, the first garden area, and they actually grew very well. I'm just going to crush it and throw it down on the field and let them establish themselves. Later, I will plant fava beans, and that will grow through winter. And by early spring, when nothing else grows, we can harvest the fava beans for cooking. Another thing I'm going to plant is these sweet potatoes. It's September, and it's a time that we start to slowly reduce the sweet potato coverage. We plant them for the summer because it provides a very good ground cover, and also it's the leafy vegetable we eat for summer when nothing else grows. We probably still have 2 or 3 months. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest the leaves and the tender stems to pickle, but then plant the main stem over here and let it grow until the first frost. That's how I planted the sweet potatoes. Stems, I just throw the stems on the field and then I will use a hoe to cover them. That's how we prepare our soil for a future orchard. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please give me a thumb up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West Farms. Mosquito biting me.